Okay, Chris, what's your concern today?
My third concern is which branch I want to join right after college. Um, well, I'm gonna go ahead and start with the branch I don't want to join. Not that I'm absolutely sure I don't want to. It's just the least favorite, which is the Navy. I don't hate the Navy or anything. Just I don't like being out in open waters. I don't know what it is. Maybe just the feeling of being alone out at sea, not being with family. I don't know. Just being out in the deep sea, knowing that if you do fall in the water, that there's nothing that there to catch you. Being out there alone. Being alone is a pretty big fear of mine already. So I don't know. Other than being an engineer in the Navy, I don't know a whole lot about the Navy itself already, but from what I know, it's mainly just a bunch of medical, firefighter, engineering stuff. Um, those are really mainly the only jobs I can think of off the top of my head. I know I'm missing a bunch. Um, or pilot. A pilot would be an amazing job, but I'm already too afraid of heights as it is. But so the next branch is the army. Um, just like the Navy, I don't hate the army or anything. I know there's plenty of opportunities, but the army is just something I haven't been attracted to at all. Um, it's just something that doesn't interest me. When I think of the army, I think of more just being deployed into combat, which is something I don't want to do. Um, I want to make a career in the military, not just being there for a couple of years, go to war and come back. I want to have a career that I can use for the rest of my life. Then the next branch would be the Marines. The Marines have always been my favorite branch for a long, long time, ever since I was little. Um, they seem, whenever you're out at the mall or out at stores, it's always the Marines out there trying to recruit you. The strongest branch, the biggest branch, the one everybody respects the most. The most combat people who go to combat the most. The Marines, the toughest guys. I don't feel like I would make it in there. Not that I'm too scared or anything to be in the military, but the mental and physical strength that it requires, that only a few people have. I don't know. I don't think I could take that. And then, so the top branch I want to be in is the Air Force. That's my number one choice. I've always been attracted to the Air Force. I always see a lot of opportunities in that branch. I can see that I can still stay home and still be deployed out in the world without going to combat. I can still travel, and traveling something that I very much want to do. And I know there are a lot of things I can learn in the Air Force that will help me out later in life, that I can use even after I retire. I could get a job if I wanted to, using some of the same stuff I've learned. Um, that's about it, really.
Okay, Chris. So your concern is which branch of the military you want to join after college, and you talked about all four of them, and the one you do not, the one that's the least favorite is the Navy. You don't know much about it. It's just you don't hate it, but what you don't like is being out in the open water. You're concerned about falling overboard, getting lost. You're in the middle of nowhere, and somebody might not be able to find you. You haven't heard much of any jobs that you would be interested in, so you feel like that's just not going to be your branch of service of choice. Then came the Army. Don't hate it either. You know there's a lot of opportunities, but you're not interested in combat. You want to have a career. You want to make the military a career, and you want to be able to join, or I'm sorry, to get some skills that you can use afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So the next one is the Marines. The Marines have always been your favorite. You see them as the strongest, the most respected. They do go into combat and they're very tough. You're not sure that you can make it mentally or physically, but that has always been your favorite.
Mm-hmm.
The number one choice that you do have is the Air Force, and it's the branch that you're most comfortable with. You've always been attracted to the opportunities the Air Force has. Since you don't want to be in combat, you want to be able to pick up some skills that you can use later in life. You want to be able to be close to home and to travel as well.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think that? How do you think that you can stay home by being in the Air Force?
Well, you didn't. You were deployed, not deployed. Well, first when you joined, you got to travel the world, which is pretty exciting. That's what I want to do, is get to travel. But after a while, you got transferred over